When a book wins the International Booker Prize, most people think it's because it's beautifully written. But Heart Lamp does something deeper. It holds up a mirror to lives we rarely see or hear, and suddenly, they feel universal. In 2025, this collection of 12 short stories by Banu Mushtaq, translated from Kannada into English by Deepa Basti, made global history. It's the first short story collection ever to win the prize, and the first work originally written in Kannada to receive this honor. At first glance, Heart Lamp might seem simple, but it's born from 3 decades of storytelling. Stories Mushtaq wrote between 1990 and 2023, shaped by her life as a lawyer, journalist and activist championing women's rights in southern India. What makes this book remarkable isn't just its accolades. It's how Mushtaq captures the everyday realities of women and girls in Muslim and other marginalized communities. The pressures of patriarchy, caste, tradition, faith, and expectation that shape their lives. These stories aren't abstractions. They are lived experiences, drawn from the author's own work, helping real women navigate injustice. Some stories are gentle and quietly funny. Others cut deep. There are spirited children finding humor in hardship, sharp-witted grandmothers, weary mothers grappling with family strife, and men who are at once bumbling and poignant. Together, they create a mosaic of life, intimate, rich, and unvarnished. One of the most striking things about the English edition is how it sounds. Translator Deepa Basti didn't try to smooth every phrase into neutral English. Instead, she let the rhythms of Kannada and other local languages like Urdu breathe through the text. The result isn't just a translation that conveys meaning. It's one that feels like a voice, with texture, cadence, and cultural depth. The judges at the Booker Prize called this approach radical, not just because it translated words, but because it translated a cultural heartbeat into English, inviting new readers into worlds they might never have encountered before. And while Heart Lamp is rooted in specific communities and struggles, from internal family politics to broader issues of class, religion, and power, its heart is universal. These are stories about resilience, struggle, humor in the darkest moments, and the quiet ways ordinary people carve dignity out of difficult lives. When Mushtaq accepted the prize in London, she said something unforgettable, that these stories were born from the belief that no story is ever small. And in a world that often tries to divide us, literature remains one of the last places where we can truly live inside another person's life. If only for a few pages. That's why Heart Lamp matters. Not because it won a trophy, but because it taught readers around the world a simple truth: that every life has depth, every voice has worth, and every story, even the smallest one, deserves to be heard.